Okay, we got a lot to unpack here because today we're going to be going through all 5 of the Xenoverse EZAs. There's a lot of units passives, there's a lot of abilities, so I'm going to be separating each one in the timestamps down below. If you want to skip ahead, feel free. In terms of how to build all of them, I'm going to tell you right now, I've built them all with max dodge, the rest additional. I will explain why individually with each character, but essentially, to sum up, the reason why I went for max dodge, the rest additional for all of them is to give them the stun seal flexibility, to give them multi-slot functionality. They all mainly work in the slot 2 or 3, but in the off chance occasionally they have to be in slot 1, or if they're in a situation where they don't necessarily have their best link buddy or someone appropriate around them to help them, that extra dodge could just help. Some characters don't stack defense, some characters need another unit on the rotation to get extra dodge, so the extra dodge will give this crossover team more longevity in the long run. This is a crossover team. This is not a top tier GT heroes, GT boss sort of team. This is a crossover team. So we have to be a little bit careful on the harder fights. If you don't care about that sort of thing and you just want to run this unit or these units in a carefree crossover team on low stakes events, then by all means focus more on additional. But I have chosen to go more dodge because also dodge counts for 1. In a max dodge, the rest additional situation, it's almost balanced. For example, max dodge means 30 dodge here. 11 additional means 22% chance for an additional, which is almost as good as 30 dodge. So anyway, let's go ahead and break through. Let's go ahead and break down each character one by one. Use the timestamps to skip around, and you guys can see how they all look, and then we'll jump into the new content. Physical Mira. Greatly raises attack permanently, raises defense permanently, causes supreme damage to the enemy. Key +3 attack and defense +250. 1 turn activation attack and defense +250. 1 turn activation 70% chance to dodge. 1 turn activation damage reduction 25%. When attacking with 12 or more key, attack and defense +250. When 3 or more crossover or androids category allies are on the team, or when all allies attacking in the same turn are extreme class characters, attack and defense +250, chance to crit +70%, high chance of launching an additional super. When there's an ally whose name includes Towa attacking in the same turn starting from turn 3 from the character's entry, or straight up from turn 4 from the start of battle, absorbs Towa and Toki's egg, and that is when we go Super Saiyan 5. Super Saiyan 5 greatly raises attack permanently, raises defense permanently, causes supreme damage to the enemy, greatly lowers attack and defense, raises extreme class allies attack by 10% for 1 turn self-excluded. Key +3 attack and defense +300%, damage reduction +25%, 70% chance of launching an additional super, attack and defense +80% and chance to dodge +20% for the character and allies whose name includes Towa. When attacking with 12 or more key, attack +250, attack +100% for 4 turns. That goes away after 4 turns because this is a one-time activation. When receiving an attack with 12 or more key, defense +250, 100% defense and damage reduction +15% for 6 turns. That is also a one-time activation that will go away. When 3 or more crossover or androids category allies are on the team, or when all allies attacking in the same turn are extreme class, attack and defense +300%, chance to crit +70%. When all allies attacking in the same turn are crossover category characters, damage reduction +15% for 6 turns. That is a one-time activation that will go away. So this guy is a stacker. This guy has a lot of damage potential, and this unit can support Towa very well. So how do you build this character? Well, like I said, additionals and dodge is the way to go. I am choosing to go max dodge. During the first 6 turns, you might want to consider focusing some more on additional so that you can get more stacks going. But my goal with this build is to focus on situations beyond the 6 turns, and for situations where a unit like this has to be in slot 1 or slot 2, or in a situation where Towa is not present. Because Towa being around does help the unit overall, but in situations where things can get a little bit scary, having some dodge will give this unit more consistency. Plus, with a 22 hit a potential additional, I feel like that is enough alongside the 70% chance to launch an additional super attack to do my stacks and to do my damage. Also, with the ability to support other allies on the team, there might be a situation where you want to run this unit in slot 1. In the slot 1, with your 55% damage reduction and medium chance to dodge, depending on the situation, you might potentially be able to go there. I just want to give this unit the option to do so. So that is why I've gone full dodge, and then I've given a bunch of stat buffs. I do like this character, so I used my most top of the line premier equips. You probably shouldn't do that, but yes, I have gone for additionals and dodge. I've chosen to go max, but if you want to split it up more evenly, you can. Next up, TEQ Towa greatly raises defense for 1 turn, causes supreme damage to the enemy, lowers attack, greatly lowers defense, and seals super attack. Attack and defense plus 200%, all allies key plus 3 per extreme class ally on the team. Attack and defense plus 80% when attacking up to 400. All allies attack and defense plus 10% up to 50. When 3 or more crossover or demonic power category allies are on the team, or when all allies attacking in the same turn are extreme class, attack and defense plus 200%, chance to dodge plus 70%, launches an additional attack that has a great chance of becoming a super. When all allies attacking in the same turn are crossover category characters, damage reduction plus 15%. So if this character is able to string on a couple of supers, greatly raising defense multiple times, combined with these stats and your 15% damage reduction, chances are you might be able to tank a few hits on some of the more difficult fights pretty well. But with 70% chance to dodge, there is still room to increase the dodge. Not to mention, alongside the Mira, your dodge can go up to 90%. If you can increase the dodge as much as possible, a 90% plus chance to dodge will give this unit some slot 1 functionality in certain situations where you might need it. And that can give a very useful, fresh set of rotation characters more options. Because if this unit moves into the slot 1, then suddenly Mira is no longer pressured to be in the slot 1 and can thrive more in the slot 2. And something like the Jiren fight, you might be able to dodge an attack that could just end your entire run altogether. So my recommendation is to go for max dodge again, and I put the rest into additional. Here, it's not as profound as it was for the Mira, mainly just because I couldn't find the best equips to get the dodge all the way up to 30. So I like having round numbers, so I just set it for 20. But still, max dodge, the rest additional. I've got a 20% chance to dodge, and I've got a 22% chance for an additional. Either way, I feel like this is a balanced approach that can give the unit more slot 1 functionality with the help of Mira on the rotation. Demigra greatly raises attack and defense for 1 turn, causes supreme damage with a high chance to stun. Key plus 2, attack and defense plus 250, chance to crit and damage reduction 20%, launches an additional attack that has a great chance of becoming a super, high chance to stun the attacked enemy. When attacking, attack and defense plus 250. When 3 or more crossover or Realm of Gods category allies are on the team, or when all allies attacking in the same turn are extreme class, attack and defense plus 300%, chance to crit and chance to dodge plus 40%. In slot 2, you have a 1-turn activation of 40% dodge. 1 time you can disrupt the enemy's attack. In slot 3, chance to dodge and damage reduction plus 30%, attacks guaranteed to hit. When HP is 60% or more, attack plus 266, dodge chance plus an additional 6%. When HP is 60% or less, or when the character is in slot 3 at the start of the turn and all allies attacking in the same turn are crossover or Realm of Gods category characters starting from the 3rd turn from the character's entry, turns into giant form. So besides the health restriction, there is a surefire way to trigger the giant form. And that is a very useful option to have in your back pocket, because when you go giant form, the ability to exhaust the enemy's supers can come in handy depending on the fight you are doing. So you can either use this option right away, or you can save it and make sure that you are never under 60% health, or you are never in a situation where you enter the turn in slot 3, which means you don't put the unit in slot 2. But if you do put the unit in slot 2, that first turn that you do it, you'll get all of this. So his whole kit is focused around utilizing that. And then once you finish the giant form, you can resort back to the slot 3 option. So let's go ahead and check out the giant form abilities. So when he's giant form, he's invincible, massively raised attack temporarily, causes destructive damage with a medium chance to stun. Key plus 3, attack plus 666. Attacks guaranteed to hit. When the HP of the enemy is 60% or more, attack plus 666, and chance to crit plus 66%. The downside in holding off this technique and only using it towards the end of a fight is they're likely going to be below 60% health. And when that happens, you're going to be far less lethal. So you want to be using this early to get the most out of the giant form in terms of damage. My personal opinion, I don't think the damage potential for this character is worth it. It's really meant to be just a means to an end. Focus more on the stalling, focus more on the invincibility and the ability to exhaust the enemy supers more so than the damage, because it's not that good to where it's a must run, right away. Just like with all the other characters, they either already have critical taken care of or they don't need it. Here, this unit has a little bit of everything. You've got combo power, you've got stunning, you've got great stats, you've got the invincibility strat, you've got disabling enemy action, you have critical, I think I already said that, you have damage reduction, you have dodge. So in order to just give the dodge post all this giant form stuff more consistency, you should go full dodge. Because in general, besides the turn 2, actually let's start with the turn 2. If you put him in slot 2, then you will have 40, 80, 86% chance to dodge. After the turn 2 strat, you go giant form, you come back, and then you default to slot 3. Your dodge chance goes to 70%. So with my max dodge build, I am now giving that 70% almost a 10% increase because of my 30% hit potential. For those of you who don't know, hidden potential abilities are calculated in the event the passive version fails. So if my 70% dodge chance fails, then in that 30% scenario, I have a 30% chance of dodging, which basically means 70 plus 0.3 times 30, which is 79%. In the event of slot 2, where I've got 88, actually, it's not 70%, it's 76%. I should also factor this. So basically, it just makes the dodge more consistent. He has some damage reduction, but sometimes you just want to dodge everything. So I don't need to ramble on more. I've put everything into dodge, and then I put the rest into additional, which is 10, which is basically, 20% chance for an additional, which is good because it will potentially give him an extra super on top of his primary, his passive, and yeah, he could get 3 supers. That's pretty good for me. AGL Super Saiyan Xeno Trunks causes supreme damage to the enemy, raises attack for 7 turns, raises allies attack and defense by 20% for 2 turns. His multiplicative attack stack buffing is by 50%, by the way. So his numbers can get pretty high. He plus 2 attack and defense plus 250, chance to dodge plus 25%, crossover or mission execution, category allies attack plus 30% for 2 turns. When attacking with 12 or more key, attack and defense plus 250, and if HP is 80% or less, or when facing 2 or more enemies, plus an additional attack plus 150. So when you get more desperate, he gets stronger. In slot 2 or 3, attack and defense plus 250, chance to dodge plus 20%. In slot 3, launches an additional attack that has a 70% chance of becoming a super. When receiving a normal attack, damage reduction 60% temporarily. Temporarily means only in the instant that happens. So after a normal attack happens, if a super were to proc after that, this damage reduction plus 60% goes away. When receiving a super attack, chance to dodge goes up by 30%, and again, temporarily. When 3 or more crossover or mission execution category allies are on the team, or when all allies attacking in the same turn are super class, attack and defense plus 250, 70% chance to crit, disables enemy action, interrupts the enemy. That's a lot. Critical is taken care of in the passive. Your dodge can go as high as 45% under normal circumstances in slots 2 or 3. It can go up to 75% when a super attack is coming in. We all know 75% just ain't gonna cut it. And if this unit has to intercept a super attack, you want that dodge to be as high as possible because you don't have any extra means of defending yourself. The damage reduction is non-existent. You're not raising defense on the super. You are raising some stats for 2 turns for the allies, but you're not primarily bulking up with like greatly raising defense or anything like that. So your defense is not going to cut it if you're going to eat a super attack. So I think the #1 priority is to focus on just maximizing his survivability. In the slot 2 or 3, even after he supers 5 or 6 times or whatever, if a super attack were to launch in slot 3, if the 70% chance fails, you're dead. So that is why I have chosen to go max dodge. So again, I've got 30 dodge, which means with a 75 passive dodge, things are looking pretty good. I think I'm at an 82.5% collective chance to dodge. Still not a guarantee, but it's better than what it used to be. And then everything else goes into additional because critical is taken care of. I got a 70% chance here, and I have a little bit extra crit somewhere, don't I? No, I'm imagining things. Yeah, 70% chance to crit. I am only going to be running these characters for the most part on a crossover team. You can see that there are some options outside of crossover, but by doing that, it makes it a little bit harder to run everybody together. But here, with 3 or more crossovers, we take care of everybody. 60% damage reduction on a normal is just not enough for a character that does not boast a whole lot of defense boosting in the super. So on the more, high intensity challenge events, this isn't going to help all that much. If you have adequate support surrounding you on a crossover team, it will definitely help, but sometimes you might not have enough health. That is a big issue on the crossover team. So while you may disagree vehemently with the dodge build, just know crossover teams tend to not have the most amount of health unless you've got everybody, you know, at their best. So that's another factor to consider. So that is why I'm also going dodge. 30 dodge, 11 additional, works for me. Lastly, we've got physical Xeno Trunks, greatly raises attack and raises defense for 1 turn. No comma, no perma. This is all temporary. Causes supreme damage to all enemies, raises allies attack and defense by 20% for 2 turns. So just like the AGL Xeno Trunks, this guy too can provide multi-turn support. And you're going to see that this is actually going to be very useful on the crossover team. Key +4 attack and defense plus 250, damage reduction 15%, crossover or defenders of justice category allies, defense plus 30% for 2 turns. When HP is 80% or less, or when facing 2 or more enemies, guaranteed crit. When attacking with 12 or more key, attack and defense plus 250, 15% damage reduction. In slots 2 or 3, attack and defense plus 250, damage reduction plus 20%. In slot 3, launches an additional attack that has a 70% chance of becoming a super. When 3 or more crossover or defenders of justice category allies are on the team, or when all allies attacking in the same turn are super class, attack and defense plus 250, high chance to crit, randomly changes key spheres of a certain type, physical and STR excluded, into physical, foresees enemy super attack within the character's attacking turn, starting from the 4th turn from the start of battle. So this is a permanent fixture starting from turn 4. So just like the AGL Xeno Super Saiyan Trunks, the best slot to run this character is going to be slot 3. So assuming you're running both of these as floaters, additionals and dodge is obviously going to help again because critical is taken care of here, critical is taken care of here. So it's better to invest in additionals and dodge. Any combination will do, and I personally am choosing to go for max dodge just to give more consistency in the off chance that a high level attack is going to hit in slot 3, like the Jiren event from the red zone, for example, and you have an out. Unfortunately, I couldn't go 30 dodge because, again, I'm missing certain equips. I gotta say, recalibrating all these guys and getting all the equips, it really burned through my reserves. But I went for 20 because it's still a nice round number, and I've got 16 on the additional, but I'm still prioritizing the dodge. And by the way, in this particular build, while the 16 is lower than 20, in reality, I am getting more additional than I am dodge here because 16 times 2 is 32%. So yeah, it's still kind of skewed in the favor of additionals, but if I had it my way, I would go even more dodge. More dodge, more security, more potential ways to reduce the chance of a low HP crossover team getting bullied just by not having enough health. I feel like not many people are going to be realizing that until it's too late. So those are all my builds. That is my crossover team. We're going to start with the usual, and we're going to be taking on the Divine Wrath Mortal Will. And then after that, we're going to jump into the new Xenoverse Red Zone. All right, we got our rotations pretty much set up. It's a little bit weird right now, but we got the Trunkses together. I got the Mira Towa together. This should work out. Okay, so there's not a whole lot happening right now. I'm gonna forego the Demigra strat for right now. I'm gonna focus more so on the other guys. We're gonna let Demigra shine a little bit more at a later point. So let's start by having these two together, and I guess let's have AGL go first. This is actually kind of a weird start. See, so the other thing is, because we're trying to showcase everybody together, some characters are going to be uncharacteristically in the slot 1 where they're not exactly the greatest. So it's going to be hard to showcase all of their, you know, best traits right away. Like this guy in slot 1 loses all of this. Maybe I should put Demigra slot 1. And maybe I'll do that. All right, let's put Demigra slot 1. He can't hurt you that bad. Okay, so Demigra, we're going to save his slot 2 stuff. Let's do this. Let's put physical Trunks in slot 2 so that we could see how much he might tank the STR super attack, and then we'll put Xeno Super Saiyan in slot 3. All right, so 34.5 million attack stat. Damn, 23 million damage on a crit. 37 million attack stat on the second super. Good lord. 24.6 million on a crit. And now what is that? What is that? 25 million attack stat? Oh my god. Okay. Well, we just murdered all of them in 3 crits. Okay. Okay. All right, Mira and Towa are together. I'm going to keep it that way. For this first turn, because I have a max dodge build, this actually gives me more flexibility in the slot 1 because we have a 70% chance to dodge. And with my 30 hit potential, it's more so an 80% chance to dodge. 80% chance to dodge, 25% damage reduction. I want to go ahead and stress test, and I want to see how much damage we take here. In terms of the damage output, we use this part of the fight to kind of keep the fight going. So I'm going to go after Zamasu. So we're not going to be doing much damage, but we're more so just checking the defense. And then, I mean, I guess we'll give this to Vegeta. 70% chance to dodge. Nice fail. Thank you. Thank you. You guys should know this by now. I have the worst luck with dodging. All right, 45 million attack stat for the Mira, and he did about, what, 15 million damage? Damage doesn't matter so much. 35 million attack stat for Towa. Damn. Okay, we got a little unlucky on the additionals there, but still, good setup. Very good setup. Because now when we come back here, Mira's going to transform. Towa is going to have 90% chance to dodge, making her our slot 1. So that's another... That's going to give you your other option for a slot 1 besides Vegeta. Depending on how you've built your Vegeta, maybe your Vegeta's full additionals and crit. Maybe your Vegeta's full dodge. Whatever the case may be, Vegeta's going to be one of your options for slot 1. But now Towa, with the Mira boost, can also run in slot 1. Okay, so here, I could do the Demigra thing in the... Yeah, you know what? Let's go ahead and do that. Yeah, I'm just going to leave Vegeta in the slot 1. Out of these guys, there's no way I want to put these dudes in slot 1. How much dodge would he have in slot 1? He would have 40. He would have 46% chance to dodge. Whoops, that's not good enough. So let's do this. And then Demigra. Let's do that. We are absolutely wasting the utility behind it, but you know, this is a low end fight. It's not a big deal. So we're going to be canceling that last attack that's about to hit Xeno Trunks. We will not have to worry about that. You already know what this boy can do. He's very nice. You know what I like about my setup? All of my units, with the exception of this Vegeta, are full dodge builds. This Vegeta, I built the Psycho Ego build, which is 0 dodge. Which is kind of funny. 39.2 million attack stat for Demigra. Oh, you know what? We attacked Zamasu, not Rose. So never mind, Rose is fine. Wow. We canceled him and we stunned him. All right, 28.8 million attack stat for Xeno Trunks. This is going to hit both. Guaranteed crit, 18 million on Rose. 31.9 million attack stat on the second super. 16 million. 20 million on Rose. Oh, God, okay. 35 million attack stat. 18 million, 22 million. Wow. The more important thing is we've been given 60% extra attack and defense for this turn. And there is Mira, dude. That animation I never see. That looked really cool. Super Saiyan 5 Mira is on the field. Okay. So for 6 turns now, we got to keep an eye on these, right? These two go away after 6 turns. This goes away after 4 turns. So let's just make the most out of this. Zamasu is... Well, Zamasu is stunned. Do I want to stall a little bit, or do I just want to keep... We should keep going. Let's make this a normal fight. Let's not do anything too fancy. If anything, I should do this. We should show off Towa in the slot 1. So let's have Towa go first. Okay. And then we'll have Mira actually take out Zamasu. Or Rose. And then we'll have the Trunks do his thing in slot 3. He's dead here. That's for sure. 92% dodge chance right there, and she did it. 42.9 million attack stat. That is because of the Mira buff and last turn Xeno Trunks buff. Her stats won't go up, her attack, because she's only raising defense on her super. But she launched 2 supers plus a slap, all right? 61.5 million attack stat for Mira. 28.8 million damage, no crit. 65.8 million attack stat on the second super. 41.3 million damage on the crit. And now, since we had him in slot 2 last turn, he enters the turn in slot 3, so we activate Giant Form. And since we took out Rosé, this unit's health is above 60%, so we're gonna get the full effect of his passive as well. So we'll do this. We'll do this. And we'll do this. Again, this is cool, but I would rather save this for when it's actually useful in terms of stalling. 27.8 million attack stat, 15.5 million damage on the crit. And he undid it. Thank you. 27.8 million attack stat, 15.5 million damage on the crit. God. 27.8 million attack stat on the super. 8 million damage on the non-crit. And we're doing it again. Okay. Let's see that. Oh, let's do this. And let's do this. We've exhausted all of his maneuvers. No supers, no heals. Look at him. We could actually do a significant amount here with that boiling berg. If we get one more turn, we could solo him for sure. Oh my. 35 million attacks on the follow-up super. He got an addition. Oh my god. Yeah, you're dead. Oh, you're dead. Dude, Demigra solos. I actually, you know, I'm kind of glad he did that. He soloed this fight. That's not, I mean, look, this is not a very challenging fight, but it's still nice to see Giant Form do something productive. 14.9 million attack stat. It went down because the enemy's health is below 66%. 66? 60? Whatever. Don't tell me we're actually not going to kill. Oh my god. He doesn't have a super on the left. No freaking way. You gotta be kidding. Okay. Yeah. At least, we didn't waste like Mira or Towa or anything. Well, that was lame. Well, he did his job. AGL Zamasu didn't launch a single super, and we got through that turn. That was great. All right, so now we come back here. We are fighting TEQ, Fusion Zamasu, and oh my, would you look at that? So we've got scouting because of Xeno Trunks, so we know exactly where the attack is. We've got a 92% chance to dodge Towa. Out of the 3 of these, since there's no Xeno Vegeta, or, you know, God Vegeta Kryptonite, who's the best option? Towa. So we got to put Towa slot 1. Then we got to put Mira slot 2. And then we got Xeno Trunks in the slot 3. Look at those numbers. Oh my. Okay. 92% chance. No shot we fail this. All right, so now let's work our way through the Xenoverse Red Zone Remind DLC. This will be a nice way to show off what these guys can do in a more aggressive situation. And we're going to play this normally. So Vegeta's got to be slot 1, and then everybody else has to work around that. So let's do that. And since Mira and Towa are separated, we're going to have to be a little bit more fancy here. We got to put God Vegeta slot 1. So let's go ahead and do this. All right. And then we'll do the... yeah, we'll do this. I want to keep Towa around because I think I'm going to bench the Mira next turn. And we'll do this. Yeah, this was a bit of a shock the first time I had to do this. Go watch my video where I did the no new units run. I took... pretty sure I took like 5 million? 2 million? Something like that from my Super Saiyan Goku against this stupid Demigra. That was not fun. Okay, 3 bars down. Let's see what Towa does. She only has 70% chance to dodge here. 30 million attack stat. Our first super is up. Can we get another one? Nice. All right, so we're greatly raising our defense twice, combined with 15% damage reduction. 70%, 79% we dodged, or 76%. We dodged both. Sweet. Okay, so now we're setting up for next turn. 33.7 million attack stat. Trunks has the potential to get some really high damage numbers because of his multiplicative, but because he is best in slot 3 for setting up the next turn, I just want to keep him there. I'm not going to keep him around and risk things going sideways just to get his numbers super high. That wouldn't be a normal way to run this. Okay, so maybe... Okay. All right, I'm gonna do this. And then I'm gonna leave you in the slot 2 and not the slot 3. Maybe, no, you know what? Next turn with Demigra coming back, I'm gonna put Demigra in slot 2. Maybe I should keep Mira around. Okay, let's do this. Boy, next turn is gonna hurt. Next turn is gonna hurt a lot. All right, we lost some attack. Oh, right. We didn't get an 18 key. Jeez, man. 7 million. Ew. Ew. God, that is disgusting. Okay, well. That is offensive. I am offended seeing these pitiful numbers. Seeing these 2019 numbers. When did we have like 5 million attack set as a high respectable number, huh? All right, so 38.7 million attack set for Mira. No Towa in sight. He did 34 million damage on a crit, and yeah, he's got all of his turn 1 bonuses. Okay. 31.7 million attack set for Xeno Trunks. He should be able to tip the scales back in our favor with a couple supers here. There we go. 34.9 million attack stat. All right. So multi-turn stat buffs for next turn. Vegeta slot 1 should be. Oh my god. Oh my god. I have a... Oh, that's it? That's actually not that bad. I thought it'd be way worse. Okay. Maybe I'm just used to other red zones. Maybe that's why. All right, we made it. Never mind. I'm just such a drama queen. Okay. Take your stupid energy jet and get out of my face. Don't forget, Towa is supporting Vegeta here. Vegeta is an extreme. Towa's giving 50% attack and defense. And so now that we've got Demigra set in slot 2, when we come back here, we can utilize that giant form transformation. But in the meantime, let's go Super Saiyan 5. All right, so he's still int, which is Q. Here we can go giant. We don't have to. I'd rather not, actually. Oh, man. You know what? Trunks would be better here. And you know what? I'm going to leave Trunks. I'm going to leave Trunks on the rotation. Let me do that. Let's let Trunks actually shine a little bit. So let's do that. And then we're going to bench Mira, which means Towa is still going to have only 70% chance to dodge. Uh-oh. $55 million attack stat for you. All right, man, get it together. Cook more. There we go. I'm very sleepy while I'm doing this. I thought he was int, but he's STR. All right, so 43.4 million attack stat for the Super Saiyan Xeno Trunks, 33 million damage on the crit. 9 million, almost 10 million damage on the slap, non-crit. And that's it. So we lost some of that combo, but we're keeping type advantage on the team, on the rotation. 23 million damage on the crit, and that's it. Okay. And so here we go, giant form. All these abilities are working pretty well together. Like, we're getting a good amount of mileage out of this. The enemy stats, okay, so he's not below 60% just yet. Let me do this. Oh, that was him. Okay. 27.8 million attack stat. $8 million damage. 33.3 million attack stat. He got the additional 10 million damage. Let's do that. Let's do this. Let's do that. I'm setting up orbs for next turn. Damaging, you know, getting chief shot damage in is good. But remember, the main purpose of giant form is to stall and set up. And that's what we doing. Unless, of course, he decides to go one more turn. Yep, he didn't do it. Okay. This dude, all right, turn 5, let's transform. Okay, and then we'll do this. Physical Trunks should be in slot 2, so he has less attacks to worry about. And now that Demigra has exhausted his extra abilities, we're just going to leave him in slot 3 because that is what he gets. That's where he gets the bonus. So now he's going to have, we're above, yeah, we're at 100%. So he's got the full, what, 76% dodge chance? 40, 36, yeah, 76. 76, which means he's got a 24% of failing, which means 7.2. He's got an 83.2% collective chance to dodge thanks to my hit of potential. Let's cook. We've got the stat buffs from last turn. 84 million attack stat. 25.3 non-crit. 17.9 non-crit. 20.7 non-crit. Dude, what the hell is... What unit is this? Is this not my unit? 42.8 million on the crit. This might be a fraud friend unit. All right, only one super from him, and that's okay. 36.8 million attack stat. 21 million damage on the crit. We got an additional 39.4 million attack stat. 22.7. And we got the additional. That was my hit of potential. 7 million damage on the slap. All right, so again, same thing. Ew. I should be fine. Just do this. And then we'll do this. All right, cool. So Mira Towa, not the focal point. It was more so Vegeta plus Xeno Trunks. And that's okay. 99, yeah, that's 100 million attack stat. That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. I think that friend unit was a fraud. I brought the wrong one. Those were some ugly numbers. Look at these numbers. This is what I like to see. One more. Success. All right, crossover team demolishes Demigra. So now let's move on. I'm going to skip the Mira fight. Let's go do the God Vegeta fight. I'm going to save the Jiren fight for the no new units challenge on the next video. Let's do the Vegeta fight. Gold the Vegeta. So here we go.
All right, let's do this.
What is this music? Sounds like some weird Nintendo Egyptian theme. Oh, crap. Oh. Okay. Well, this is a realistic possibility. You're running double Vegeta and you get shafted on the rotations. What are you going to do? You're going to have to rely on some dodge. So right now we've got 46% chance to dodge in his base passive with a 30 backup. So that's giving us like roughly a 57% chance to dodge. Let's see. Let's do this. And then we'll do this. And then we'll do this. And let's pray. I doubt we survive this. Oh my God. Oh my God. Max dodge build, baby. 41.4 million attack stat. 31.2 million damage on the crit. 44.5 million attack stat on the second super. 33.8 million damage on the crit. And do we dodge or do we tank? We dodge again. Let's go. 28.5 million attack stat for... Ooh. She got that bloody sauce. Thank you, Towa. 3 supers. Dude, my team is stepping up right now. I love this. And she tanked for double digits. I love it. All right, now we set up for next turn. Xeno Trunks with the first super. Come on, give me one more. Give me one more. Give me one more. Damn it. All right, we just got the one. 20% attack and defense. All right, so here, kind of a wonky start, but whatever. So we'll do this. And then we'll do this. And then we'll do this. All right. Wait, is that me? And that, ladies and gentlemen, is why you give him dodge. Look at how much we benefited from that. This team, not top tier. You run Mira on androids, not going to be top tier. You run Towa on demonic power, not going to be top tier. They work best when they're together on this team, and this is like a average to above average team. Ooh, nice. All right, multiple supers. What is that? 42.8 million attack stat. Nice crit. Okay. Okay. Very good. Oh man, you know what's gonna happen? He's gonna have a speck of health left, and I'm gonna have to waste Mira's. Well, I don't know if it'll be a total waste. Okay, so here, kind of messed up. I gotta put Mira slot 1. Mira does have a 70% chance to dodge, and thanks to my backup 30, that 70% is actually a 79%. So I'm gonna need you to dodge a little bit, and then we'll do this, and we're gonna bench Demigra. We don't need him. All right, Mira, do me a favor, buddy. Do me a favor. Thank you. Thank you. 46.7 million attack stat. 27 million damage. 50.3 million attack stat. 15 million damage. All right, second form. Look at that, y'all. We cooking them. We just cooking. What can I say? All right, we don't need to transform just yet. Let's do this. Ew, that was a mistake. And whatever, you know what? I'm too lazy. I don't feel like changing it. Let's do this. And then let's do this. Yes. Oh, the attack is in the middle. Uh-oh. I done made a boo-boo. Uh-oh. Well, maybe we can show off AGL Trunks's dodge. He gets 30% more. Wait, what's his dodge? I forgot. I forgot his dodge. Uh-oh. Trunks, my boy. Trunks in slot 2 gets 20% more. He's got 25 already, so 45%. He would be at 75% chance to dodge with that super. He's at 64.2 million attacks. That holy crap. Oh, we canceled the super. Wow. We canceled it. That's awesome. And our health is below 60%. So next turn, I think Demigra is going to transform anyway. And then after he transform, oh no, Demigra's not on next turn. Never mind. Never mind. But Mira and Towa are about to digivolve into Super Saiyan 5. Okay. So here, since we've got God Vegeta, that's a better unit to put in the slot 1. This guy has all of his damage reduction and stuff, and we have type advantage, so he'll be fine. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna transform. What turn is it? Yeah, he has to transform. All right, so let's do this. All right, so let's do this for God Vegeta. Let's do that for Mira. And then can we get a nice bunch of heals thanks to this? I think we can make it through this. I think we'll be okay. AoE, we're fine. We dodged, nice. And we, are you serious? We failed a 92%. There's no way this happens again, right? There's no way. There's no way. There's no way. Right, we tank this. We Q. Right, tank. Oh, or dodge. 92%, okay. I don't like breaking up Mira and Towa. I really don't. Part of me wanted to put Mira slot 1 or Towa slot 1 and Mira slot 2. But I will say, having Towa, no, you know what? Actually, Mira should float. Because if Mira floats, any rotation that Towa appears in will get the dodge. So if TEQ Towa is on this rotation, and then you have AGL Towa and Mira on the other rotation, then whenever, oh my god. Dude, okay. 66 million attack stat for Super Saiyan 5 Mira. 35 million damage, no crit. 40.4 million attack stat for Towa. 22.8 on the crit, hello? Okay, nice crit there. 92, 92, 92. All right. Okay. Now, what are we dealing with over here? Turn 3. I think we lose. You know what? It's fine. It's not a big deal. I don't want to use an item to skew the results. So I'll just... That's fine. I'll just do this. Let's do that. And then let's do... Okay, let's do this. And let's do this. All right, maybe there's a chance for us. Maybe. I got unlucky coming back here, which is why I took some damage. Even if you put max additional on Mira, just hear me out here, right? You put max additional on Mira, you've already got a 70% chance of launching an additional super. If that doesn't proc, like that should be where you primarily are thinking, are looking for combos. If that doesn't proc, then whatever, you know? At the end of the day, if the additionals fail, he will still have a way to defend himself that circumvents all damage. I will take that. All right, looks like we made it. We made it this turn. 65 million attack stat. Good lord. You want to go again? Oh, so close. Dodge. Oh, Nice. All right, what are we doing here? All right, so we gotta have Vegeta go God, putting him in slot 1. Okay. So we're gonna do this. We are lacking some synergy here. We do have some nice firepower, but not as much defense. Okay, so we'll do this. We will juice up the Demigra here if Demigra... Oh, Demigra can't launch a super. No. Uh-oh. All right, so we tank this. No problem. Nice. 91 million attack stat for God Vegeta. He's about to pop off. And then Mira with the chase down, he will take him out. Watch this. 38.5. 76.3. 43.2. 85.2. 49.3. All right, Mira, take him out. Take him to church. 61.4 million attack stat. We don't have all the Towa support. 32.9, so 33 million damage, non-crit. 64.9 million attack stat on the follow-up, and that's a wrap. There we go. 34.1 million. Dude, we are failing all the 70%. So annoying. He's got a 70% crit. What are you doing, man? What are you doing? You know what? Let's do one more. Let's just go ahead and fight Super Saiyan 5 Mira. I can't make up my mind on which is the best EZA among these, but I think the answer might be Mira. I think the answer might be Mira. I ain't gonna lie. All right, so let's do this. Let's do that. I'm gonna pair up the Mira and Towa on the next rotation. No, it's not Mira. He's got defensive issues. No, it can't be him. It's not Towa. I actually can't decide. I really can't. Because I will only ever use these guys on crossover. If I'm running Mira, I gotta run Towa. And vice versa. Demigra is probably the only one that could organically lift right out of the team and still function on another team, which is Romogods. Does that make him better? Maybe? I can't decide. Well, we tanked that. That was cool. All right, so I'm gonna bench Super Saiyan Trunks. We're gonna do this. Mira, son of a... Nope. You know what? I'm gonna skip his Ultra Super so that I can give Mira his Super. And then I'm gonna do this. Sometimes you gotta do weird things like this to make it work. Put Mira in slot 1, he thought. That would have been smart. Oh, yeah. He's not going to do any damage. Oh, no. Oh, no. That is so demoralizing. Ow! 37.5 million attack, 21.3 million damage on the crit, 40.5 million attacks on the second, 12 million damage on the crit, 43.5 million attacks on the third super, 25 million damage on the crit. Well, would you look at that? 3 supers and he dodged. 47 million attack stat for Trunks. He cancels one. 52.4 million attack stat on the second super. 30 million damage. All right, Vegeta, you tanked this turn, but we made up for it. That was nice. All right. So coming back over here, we'll probably have to do this. Yep. And then let's do this for Demigra, so we can cancel one of those attacks and then have nice dodge. And we can give Trunks in slot 3 more of an opportunity to provide extra multi-turn stat buffing. We tank this no problem. Yep. Show them how it's done, gang. How much did we gain back? Oh, we're back to full health. Okay. Because we took about like 200k off of those slaps. When Vegeta only launches a 12 key super, he's not raising defense. That's what's so bad about that. Like, you got to be launching the 18 key. If you don't, you better be packing a lot of dodge, boy. All right, how many bars? He's got 3 bars left. Oh, it's not even going to come to the Demigra transformation. Next turn, we're going to win with the Super Saiyan 5 Mira versus Super Saiyan 5 Mira. Man, when these guys combo, it really helps the team. I can't decide. I will say I do not regret any of them getting max dodge and the rest additional. I think all of them work very well like this. But I genuinely cannot decide which one I like. I like all of them. I do. I like them all. And I also can't put Vegeta slot 1 because Vegeta will kill Super Saiyan 5 Mira. So I'm going to do this. I'm going to put my 92% Towa slot 1 so that Mira can swoop in and take him out. 92%, please. Thank you. Oh, you know what? Mira might actually win. 41 million attack. No, she won. 41 million attack. Okay, double super. And she dodged. 68 million attack right here. Get out of my face. 38.3. All right. Dude, why does this game hate me? Like, why? How did Mira fail again? His passive additional. Dude, Mira, 70% chance of launching an additional super attack. In this video, I've probably failed that like 5 times. 5 times. That's insane. Oh my god. All right. Well, we have cleared all of these universe fights but the Jiren. We're going to save that. Well, I'll tell you one thing. Crossover as a team got a whole lot deeper. You've got a lot of maneuverability now with these different units. You've got great utility with Towa now with 90% dodge with the Mira. You've got great tanking abilities with this unit when they're able to launch multiple supers as both the regular and the transformed one. Not nearly as good as maybe you would want, but these two together work very well. The setup potential with the Trunkses are just amazing. I love what these guys can do in the slot 3. But I think the winner has to be Demigra. I think Demigra gives a respectable amount of damage output no matter where he is. He's all around pretty balanced. He's got a giant form maneuver that can exhaust the enemy. And he can work organically outside of crossover because he doesn't have anything in his passive that heavily depends on crossover. So I think I'm going to give the title to Demigra. I think Demigra is going to be a valuable asset not only to crossover but also Realm of Gods. So number 1 is going to be Demigra. I think number 2, I can't decide. I can't. Number 1 is Demigra. Number 2, I'm going to say is Mira. I think I really like Mira. Mira's stat support and dodge support for Towa make them such a formidable combination on crossover. So maybe it's those two. You just can't go wrong. They're all good. You just can't go wrong. They're all really good. If you invest in Mira, a Towa, you must have Mira. That's about all I can say. So maybe that's the only thing. Maybe that makes Towa the lowest. I think we can all agree. Towa is the Loa. Towa has the lowest value. But all of them are max dodge, the rest additional. I don't regret that. Some of you might argue, Toon, you got shafted so much on the additionals. Yeah, but you know what? I got shafted on this. Can you believe this? This. I've failed so many times. That is just RNG at its dumbest. Crossover just got a heck of a lot better. Still not top tier, but very good. Guys, thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, be sure to like down below. Leave in the comments your thoughts on all of these crossover units. How do you build these characters yourselves? Do you agree or disagree with my takes? Are there any cool feats that you've been able to accomplish with these units on a crossover team or even beyond crossover? Let me know which one is your favorite among these 5 in the comments down below. My vote is Demigra. Also, be sure to subscribe for more content in the future and click the notification bell so that you'll know you want to see more stuff to it. Thank you so much for watching. Stay tuned and always remember to Dokkan responsibly.